And we're live. All right. Morning thoughts. Morning thoughts. Thoughts. Morning thoughts. Shout out to Miss Goldie Robinson. Miss Goldie Robinson, big up yourself and thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being the first one here this morning. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the driver. Shout out to the Uber drivers, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town, long distance truck drivers. Shout out to Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs. Shout out to lovely Anika. Shout out to legendary Ninja Telly, Vicky. I was being specific this morning because I feel like spreading a little bit of love to all my fellow content creators. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wish good for others as much as you wish good for yourself. You're a good person. Shout out to you. Here we are on this beautiful Tuesday morning. May I remind you that 2 days from now, today is the 14th, Beachy Everton Beachy Stout McDonald will be sentenced on the 16th. And we're staying tuned for that to see what his sentence is going to be like. Also, Omar Collymore should be hearing his fate sometime around then as well. The judge is still delivering his summation on that case, and then they will be going off to jury deliberation. So sometime around 16, 17, we should also hear about Omar Collimore's case as well. This morning, however, we'll pick up where we left off yesterday. Let me get my glasses ready so these bright lights don't blind my eyes, but we'll pick up where we left off yesterday. A lot of people wanted to hear about the pregnancy thing still an issue in the region, right? Shout out to everybody tuning in. The chat's closed. It's all green names in here. If I didn't call your name and big you up, it's because I want to get right into the content because I'm already 10 minutes late. The plan was to start at 7:30 and go until 9 o'clock. 7:30 to 8:30, that's 1 hour, and then 30 more minutes, an hour and a half show, which we're already 10 minutes late. So we're going to do an hour and 20 minutes show this morning because, people have to go to the gym and all these kind of things because we are trying to fit and firm up and find up ourselves for the summer because the summer is right around the corner. And we don't really want to give the summer big back, big belly 2024 summer. As much as we said summer is going to have to take what it gets, we still want to arrive looking somewhat decent, right? Right. So we're going to cut the time at 9 o'clock. So no long talking. Into the topics. This morning we're going to talk about teen pregnancy. It remains a problem in the region. And this is a professor that has put together a piece of literature with some facts and some data. So we're not just pulling stuff out of thin air. We're actually speaking from an educated standpoint. And then a situation happened yesterday, man. And I heard a scream from I don't know if it's a mother or a family member. Must have been a family member. That scream is the same scream that I heard when I went to go tell my mom that, yes, that was my brother that was laying over there on the other side of that fence. And the woman let out a scream I will never forget. I heard that scream yesterday or last night when news broke that a drive-by shooting had taken place. And if you look at our icon this morning, there's a young man on there, Marquise Morgan. Marquise was 15 years old. And Marquise lost his life in that drive-by shooting that happened yesterday. 3 people were injured. Marquise lost his life. There's another school incident where a young lady was stabbed to death at a school in Manchester. We're going to talk about that one as well. And we're going to talk about how it applies to us. Somebody said yesterday they're very disappointed in me because the icon for the video, they said, bro, I'm so highly disappointed in you because I expected this from the white vloggers who are going to Jamaica and to the Caribbean and doing these videos that we spoke about. Like they go to these areas and they're like, I'm in the worst part of the world in Trinidad. I'm in the most dangerous place in Jamaica. And those videos get hundreds of thousands of views, right? Because, of course, people are wondering, especially white people are wondering, you in the most dangerous part of where? And they go to see the videos. I put up on the icon a man holding a gun. Obviously, he's masked up and look like a criminal. I don't know why you're disappointed in that, because look at the news that came right after. I don't know if you know this, but majority, and I'm sorry to start the morning off so morbid, but I want this to be beaten into everybody's consciousness. The majority of murders that happen on the island of Jamaica are done by guns. We don't have gun factories, but the guns keep on multiplying, and the guns are what's been used to take most lives. In the past 10 years alone, in the past 10 years alone, over 12,000, 13,000 Jamaicans have been murdered. 90 to 95% of those, I would say 95% of those to 96, 7% were done so by guns. I want you to think about that and these numbers and why we put what we put on the icon. So you're accusing me of doing this to get views. I don't know if you noticed, but the videos for me that go 100 and something K, 200 and something K, 300 and something K, those videos don't have anything to do with Jamaica a lot of the times. Right. So this ain't about views for us. When we do this, it's so people are aware. When we do this, it's so people remember. If your family members were getting shot down, you would want somebody to talk about it too. You wouldn't want it to just be swept under the rug and be kept as a quiet. And I understand it's a difficult thing to keep on talking about, but we have to do the difficult talk, the difficult conversations. Because if we can't talk about it, then how can we ever arrive at a solution to where one day things might get better when you can't even speak about what's happening? So we have to do the work. All right. So permit me, allow me to do my work. All right. Steve James says Vibes Cartel in court. Yes. Yes. And we're going to talk about that on a different video later today. That's a lot of information is in that one. I don't want to put that into this morning's morning thoughts. Right. So we're going to talk about the teen pregnancy. Then we're going to talk about um, the young lady that lost her life at school in Manchester, the young man that lost his life in a drive-by shooting. And we're also going to talk about something I found very interesting because a couple of you left yesterday under the video that 21 wealthy families in Jamaica are who actually control and run Jamaica or whatever. Well, there's an article from an individual who is highly esteemed, this article was published a couple of years back that has a lot of information in it about the ruling families in Jamaica. And I think I need to bring you this information so you can connect them to how they got their money and who they are today, as in what they own today. Because they didn't get their money today. Right. So you understand a bit more. Just think it's interesting. So we start off where we left off yesterday with the teen pregnancy stuff. Usually I would say you choose, but a lot of people wanted to hear the teen pregnancy stuff yesterday. We never got to it, so we're getting to it today. All right. Teenage pregnancy continues to be a major problem in the Caribbean, in Latin America region. And of course, Jamaica is a part of that region, which currently has the second highest teen pregnancy rate in the world. Wow. Speaking at a recent prior breakfast hosted by Kiwanis Club in New Kingston under the theme Youth Mental Health, Young Minds Matter, Professor of Pediatric and Reproductive Psychology in the Department of Children and Adolescent Health at the Faculty of Medical Sciences at the University of the West Indies, Mona, Audrey Pottinger, said that teenage pregnancy continues to be a major problem in the region. In 2022, 11%, or a little over 1 in every 10 births that occurred worldwide, were from girls who were 12 to 15 years old. 12 to 15. She said in a study that she recently led that looked at the mental, social, and sexual health of Jamaican high school girls ages 14 to 17 who became pregnant, two findings stood out to her. 60% of these girls said that they wanted the pregnancy. 60% said that they wanted the pregnancy. And 64% said that they liked being pregnant as they were treated with respect when they were pregnant. What came out was that being pregnant checked some of the boxes for them. It provided purpose to their lives. Someone that they could love, someone that they got, somehow they got respect and some financial gains. When these girls felt something was missing in their lives, they found ways to fill the void. Parents, pay attention. When these girls found that something was missing in their lives, they found other ways to fill the void. I know you might say financial gains. Yeah, because she was just a little girl before. Nobody wasn't giving her any money. But now, I guess baby daddy have to go take care of baby. So she gonna get money. Hopefully, baby daddy take care of baby. So she gonna get money. And I don't know, other family members and friends will start giving her trinkets. You know how we stay already when we are foreign. Well, you know, Simone, she breed and she have baby. Or you know, Stacy, she breed and she have baby. So we are pack a barrel for go down, make sure you put in some stuff for the baby and for her. And he's a young mother and these things, you know. Horse gone through the gate already. You can't really turn your back on her now. Besides, I never understood that. I never understood parents that threw their children out in the streets like after she breed. She it gets worse. It gets worse. And I know that's the old school thing to do, but it only gets worse from there, you know? Um so what came out was that being pregnant checked some of the boxes for them and it provided purpose to their lives. Someone that they could love, someone that they could love, someone that they thought was going to love them for the rest of their life. They found ways to fill the void where things were missing in their lives. And as a society, we have to be better at being intentional in shaping the minds of our youths, or they will. Yeah, that way. Now, despite the startling research findings, Dr. Pottinger told the prior breakfast guests that the youths them want to be successful. And so the onus is on the parents, the adults, and the institutions to not fail them. They commonly express this concern, even when they put on a bravado, as if they're not interested in school or they don't like school or but they want to be successful academically, career wise, relationally, making money, and they can become quite worried about whether they are going to actually have success in the future. Isn't that normal though for teens? Teenage years is like one of the most confusing times in your life. If any of us could go back to when we were teens, it was one of the most confusing time in your life. You wasn't too sure about what the future was gonna bring. A lot of us wasn't coming from from gold spoon and glass room kind of living. You know, we were from families that had to struggle to make it, and then we found ourselves struggling right along with them as we were getting closer to a young adulthood, right? At the, I don't know. Me just feel like so them baby the rotted out they baby the hell out of today's youths, boy. And it's like they don't this is just my thoughts. I think they baby the hell out of today's youths. They handle today's youths with soft gloves, white velvet gloves, not even liquor dust upon them. A comedian the other day was like, this is the playground when I was growing up, you know, and he showed a couple of pictures. And it made me go back to my childhood because the playground, all the slides were iron slides. We had a thing on the playground that was round that used to spin, and the faster you spin it, the faster it went. So we used to put like three, four, five friends on it, and we would spin it. Sometimes we would turn our bicycle sideways and use the wheel for the bicycle and pedal the bicycle so the bicycle wheel spin to something. Somehow we used to all fly off of it like we were broken neck or something, right? And there was gravel around this pit where if you flew off that thing, you would hit gravel. When you came down the slides, it was grass and gravel, right? Our basketball courts were, and if you look at them today, it's like asphalt is everywhere, sponge everywhere. Them can't even fall. You know, it's they're treated like you're not supposed to be responsible for anything until you are like 21 kind of thing. You know, and in the time gone by, it was like you're 9 years old. You're big enough now. Make up your bed. Clean up your room. 6. Make up your bed. Clean up your room. Come outside. Let me show you how to wash your clothes. What if the washing machine don't work? We never have no washing machine. But nowadays, they will be like, what if the washing machine stop working? Put some of the clothes in the basin. Throw some fab in there. Rub it so you're out the door. Scripts your own clothes. Remember? Then you have to wash your clothes. Then you have to rinse your clothes and hang it on the line. Poor little you can't reach no line. You like this small. But they were teaching you, come in at the kitchen, let me teach you how to cook. 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. By the time, like my generation, by the time, well, me personally, by the time I was 12, I was able to cook dinner for the whole family with no help from nobody. Clean up the kitchen after, like my responsibility that. And they slowly ushered me to it until I got to it and then said, all right, left you make you do it now. What's for dinner today? I have to take out the meat from early because you know, say that you want to cook and put it in the sink it out, season it, know how to cook it, all these things. Today, the children them can't do nothing. Nothing. Ironing. Steve James. Tell them and where I come from, which part when the iron, you remember the cold stove? I have to put the iron on it and the iron get hot, and then you have to can you used to put it in the water, it's like because you can't put it straight to the clothes. It's super hot. And then rub it off, one piece of cloth over here, so and iron out till it get cold, put it back, take a next iron out. So we weren't even coming from plug iron in wall and use electric iron that you can throw water in and spray the clothes down while you're ironing. And them still can't iron. Them go outside with them clothes crush up today. You know what I mean? I was just looking at a video and it said, here is 90s fashion compared to today's fashion. And I was like, damn, even the hoes in the 90s used to come outside covered up. It wasn't for dressing that you could tell who was hoeing. You, you know, go and look at some of them compared to today. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
I said good morning, SouFLo.
Blessed morning, fam. What go on? Talk to winner.
Why you tell my life story, right?
Yeah, boy. We just make it relate, you know, like we not give the youth them no responsibility today. And we just blame everybody else except for them.
Same thing I talked to my girl daughter the other day with her baby.
Mm-hmm.
She was a 3-year-old. And they've been dropped in the house, she had to grab him more quick.
I'll frighten him.
and when me and him go outside on the swing, then drop, and they'll get up and brush off.
Cause you know,
when she out there, she screamed.
And it frightened him.
At Jungle Gym, we used to play and Jungle Gym, get up and brush off.
Mm-hmm. You drop and chip up and get up and go about your business.
And go back on it.
Yeah? Yeah. And gone right back on it.
Or basketball court with concrete.
Yeah. Now them have wooden floors and asphalt and
sponge
and sponge. I saw and doctors on standby.
My mom gave me my uniform to wash at 9-year-old. I know brown cake soap.
Dirty girl.
Yeah.
Or the blue draws. Which one are the dirty girl? The brown cake soap or the dirty girl one? Yeah. The blue one I want. Blue draws. That's for the whites.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And me go over and wash my clothes. But then I wash fun. I wash uniform and bring it back.
All right.
And clip it by the line.
I saw.
And my mother just walk out of the kitchen and look for the collar and just pull the pin them. Straight back in the dirt.
That no wash good.
That no wash good.
Responsibility.
Should talk, you know?
Yeah.
Should just come out and look wonder.
I'll pull the pin.
Pull the pin then.
Oi, that's what my mother used to do. You know, my mom watched the show, so I can't tell no lie. Listen, that's what my mother used to do. My mother used to make her wash the dishes, clean up the kitchen, everything, clean house, everything, right? Listen, this woman would go into the kitchen late night and she go look on the dishes, them you see her food still left on any of the utensils, or the cup them still dirty inside, or the plate of food on it. She just take her time and just take out everything and just lay them back out. One morning, I wake up about 2 o'clock a morning, brother. Every plate, cup, spoon out in the kitchen, and I have to get up at 6 to go to school in the morning. Them you don't know about none of that.
No, I used to get up 5 o'clock in the morning, go tell good. Before we can come back and cook breakfast. I told the sister. Everybody when I was asleep, I only have one pot of cook.
Seeing.
So if I boil banana and greens, that I cook the whole breakfast, everybody in the house.
All right.
And I 7 hours in the house. I mean, the last one I was eating to them.
I'm guilty of this too. Because sometimes I say to wife, I say, boy, I come in like we're on a restaurant, because I ask these kids when they're in here, you know, I'm a contributor of this thing I'm talking about too. I'm not going to act like me different. If I have all my kids here and I ask them, what's for dinner? You might get, if 8 people there, you'll get about 6 different answers. And sometimes we even cater to them. And this I want to get this and that, I want to get that. And then in my mind, or I'm saying to her, say, now I know why my grandparents and your parents them used to do what they did. You know, them not ask you what's for dinner. You're a kid. You nyam what you get for dinner. You better eat the whole life. And you wait till dinner time for your dinner, right? Boy.
I would know that on Thursday, you know, Ben just there, right? I'd have caramel porridge and fried dumpling. Cabbage.
I went to soup there. I usually Friday, not true? Saturday I soup there.
Yeah, but people would have beer more. And chicken foot.
Sunday.
That's a nominate chicken foot.
Boy, I love chicken foot soup to this day. Me not lie.
No, me get it so much that I don't want no more. Me don't want to see.
Yeah. You know what I love now, but we never used to love. Them used to kill a dog. Them used to feed this to ton cornmeal. But my grandmother used to turn the cornmeal to every now and then too. But now me love it.
No, yeah, story. You see, uptown people now, I pay a ton cornmeal like that, so the poor people a little stronger and live longer than them.
I saw.
So all them made, I cook ton cornmeal give them and saltfish. I don't want to hear where we are eat.
Alright. See it there?
So,
Mr. Brown said cornmeal casserole.
Me make some ton cornmeal last week, the okra and saltfish. Well, I mean, I tell you.
Bad man. Yeah, but me say bad man, but the youth them to them, man. We're not giving the youth them. I don't think we're giving them enough responsibility or holding them responsible enough.
That's true.
You know,
and the food, the food when we used to get them now get it, and then all you want it. You realize though, when we used to have poor food we are eating,
right?
It was the best and the healthiest and organic food we are eating.
We didn't know that though. We didn't know that.
And that's why we solid. Most of the older people are solid.
Yeah. We're immune system strong. You know, we didn't know that though.
My old lady is 94 and now I ring up on her face.
Seeing.
My sister is 65. I go 66.
Back then we used to pray. Back then we used to pray for them stop feed with certain things.
All right.
Yeah. All right. I can't wait till we get big so we can tap them chicken back.
I'm cornmeal porridge.
We can't wait till we get big to tap them cornmeal porridge.
Cornmeal porridge till it's what they give me oats porridge. Like my sister knows that. We don't want it.
What's that coming like his sister knows that?
Yeah, you know, she's on a big cooler running around all man. That porridge drop back, shoot. You're like, oh shit, we don't want that.
Them used to make we eat it though. You never have a choice. All when you like you want bring it back up, you better swallow that.
Yeah, we are telling man. But these Jamaican parents start treating their kids like American kids, you know? They love it drop. and get them and brush them off quick and then scream out. You know what I mean? That's still be a rush, man, and brush it off and go again.
The culture has changed, bro, because we adopted let's be real, we adopted American lifestyle to a larger part, like how the teacher them handle children in school. That's all American now in the Jamaican school system. How parents handle their children, that's all American now within the home as well, because you know in the US them remove corporal punishment out of school and out of home long time ago, and they even used to tell your children here that if you put hands upon them, call this number or come tell us this, so them can root up your family and take away your kids. Now that we started doing the same thing in Jamaica. Jamaica never used to do that, but we started doing the same thing in Jamaica as well. You know,
I have 4 daughters, right? Mm-hmm. My first daughter came here when she was 2.5. Mm-hmm. I have them all 4 daughters with my ex-wife.
Same.
So she go to school one day, and she was about 8, and she said, "Daddy, no, you hit me, I can call the police." I said, "Where you get it from?" She said, "Oh, I get it, the girls at school. Just get the phone." I said, "Call the police. I'm gonna beat it now. I'm gonna start putting her leak." Seriously, man, I lie, man.
Yeah, man.
She said, "No, that is just a kid to school say that." I said, "Okay, listen. I sent her to school to learn from teacher, not from your friends."
Staying.
Police don't pay the bills in here, food and table clothes on your back. I do it. So I'm the man in here, and you're the student in school. Yeah. And then my second daughter, she get bad when she 14. I will go to court. Just call your court. And said, "Well, we're going to take her from your house." I said, "Yeah, go ahead and take her." We don't want her back. She thief my money. Yeah, what she do? You still have 3 checks with my wife at house, right? Until I want to ride. Come on the road all the while. And the girl go take out my routing number, banking number, our PayPal account.
At 14?
At 14.
Oh, I saw.
And take out $360. Because them charge $60 for the fee. They charge her $300 to her PayPal account twice a week. SouFLoTV, seriously.
Wait, me? She wrote money to herself twice a week.
So
Are you
she appear herself.
Are you not checking?
I mean, I check it. I'm in the party when I make money. No, you know.
I would have beat the black off her skin.
No, you know what she do? The 2 days before I come home, she don't go to school. Until her mother, the mother go beat her. And she go to school next day and she will teach her them about them pineapple.
So them get involved.
Them take her, she don't come home in the evening.
So she'd use them?
Yes.
Because she don't want no lick from daddy.
No lick, I kill me, don't kill that.
Well, she didn't want to be killed, sir.
So, bro.
Yeah.
At 6 months, my 1 payment check, I return back. I mean, I know and she had to take my table.
What?
That's how skilled she was.
Yeah, man.
And when she buy things for line, she go in her back, tear down, throw it, and try to put stuff on her clothes and carry the house. Buy cell phone, I can't go to school and sell them $50.
What? Is that entrepreneur?
Blackberry.
Yeah, but she was an entrepreneur. She just...
Oh, damn it.
She was an entrepreneur trying to figure out how to flip $1 for her.
Yeah, but she didn't flip it right.
Yeah, she didn't flip it. The startup. Our startup was coming from criminality. Yeah, but she was entrepreneur in our thoughts. Yeah.
When we got caught, the judge said, "Yo, you want to?" I said, "No." Because the judge said, "Well, we have a keeper and so on." So no problem because we come home and not beat her.
You tell them keep her.
Judge, yeah.
How long did they keep her for?
She was 20, come back when she have a baby and she had 20.
What? Wait.
Yeah.
No, wait. She was 14 when them take her.
14, yeah.
How old was she when she come back home?
she come back with a baby at 20.
Oh, wow. No, me wouldn't make that go on so long.
But me left. So that's why I left. God, the man didn't want to back from me. I said, no.
Oh, man. No, me
yo, then take my minivan. They have a minivan 6 months. Payment, they never cancel.
That are your daughter, though?
Yeah, my second daughter, man.
Your real daughter, no?
No, I'm say real. All of my 4 kids are raised well.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't give her my daughter like that, though.
Yo, you don't know, man.
I'm mad for a month or 2, keep her for
a
them
month?
2 months, they teach her a lesson. Yeah, man.
SouFLo.
Yeah.
SouFLo.
I understand what you say still. But 14.
Oh, I am black. Me to drop on the water with a leak now, Philip.
Boy, no, brother. Me don't know. No, me couldn't do that.
Yo, you think? Yo, my brother got one man yard. I was afraid they're gonna play and then build up one 2 pants at the yard, right? He eat the man, you know, to the yard. And the man still tell my mother chop him by the big finger with his teeth, you know.
Yeah, me hear what you say about all that, but back to your daughter though, me couldn't do that. She leave at get her away at 14 and she come back 20 pregnant.
And I'm in here, man. The judge take her, man.
The judge take her. You could have get her back, man. You could have get her
when
back.
they come at the house, you know. The child welfare or whatever. And the lady come and question the next 3 daughters of them. And see how them live and go in the 4 room and look. And I realized nothing wrong. Everything neat, everything. She said, why did she do this? I said, no. She said, all right, I need some clothes for her. I'm going to go around and big suitcase and take everything. Everything.
So.
Yeah, man, it was rough.
Wow.
But these kids nowadays, man, because we used to teach them to cook and clean. Them say they don't like curry chicken and brown stew chicken because it look wetty. Nasty.
Me and the audience here are going to have a discussion surrounding your daughter after this. Don't take it personal. I'll just...
No, you're a good man.
You stop. Me I laugh with you for a while until you reach that part there where you say, 16, you tell them take her and she never come back till she had 20. 14. You tell them take her, she never come back till she had 20 and she come back 20 pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, with the baby because she never lived there. She went for
come back with the baby.
But me left her. Me left 1 year before she. I tell my brother said she have twins.
So the whole relationship they done. So the whole relationship they done.
You know what do you mean? No, man. What do you think when she come visit me at Texas, man? And when she come with my granddaughter. I love my granddaughter, you know.
Same.
I love all of my kids, but
that's how it always work out, though. Yeah, me hear what you say.
And she come down there and I tell my girl about, who be at this, be at that, whatever stage, everything, you know. Just because she feel jealous.
Why?
So she just break it again.
Again?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I tell you about the rough, I tell you what. I live, blessing and follow me,
live and learn, sir.
So, yeah, man, bless yourself and have a wonderful day. Yeah?
Man, as I respect my brother.
But we go and listen.
All right.
Yeah, man, bless.
Now, I hope this brother don't call back Bex or nothing, but I couldn't do that. So when I'm talking about disciplining the children them and giving them responsibilities and all these things, please don't think I'm telling anybody to go overboard. I'm not telling if you choke out, you put them unconscious. I'm not telling if you give them way to the state. I'm not telling you to do any of that stuff because I couldn't do it, right? I couldn't give away my child to the state. That child needed him more than anything else in life from 14 to 20. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, family. How you doing?
That piece of conversation went so left.
It went so left. You notice me couldn't laugh anymore.
No.
Yeah, I was like, oh, man.
Like, wait, that can't be right. Let me hear that again.
That's why I had to ask again.
Yeah.
Yeah. 14 to 20.
No.
You know?
That's too far.
Too far.
Yes, she was wrong, but my God, we're not gonna destroy the little girl life over this.
Yeah.
You know what happened in children in foster care?
All kinds
molestation,
of stuff.
Rape, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
No, man. You went too far.
And 14, if you really think about child development or human development, 14 to 20, that's a block of space right there where everything is happening in your life. Everything is changing in your life. You're changing physically, physiologically changing, your mental state. You're now trying to grapple with the world around you. You're having a better understanding of what's going on around you, but you don't know anything yet. Still, you need guidance now more than ever before. You're gonna make mistakes at this age. You're gonna do stuff at this age that I don't know. It wouldn't. I couldn't be mad for no years. That's
not even months.
Let me tell you something, right? My son, I forgot what I was teaching Jaden to do. And I come from the era where if you didn't learn fast enough, then beat you. So I grabbed my son, right? Drip him up. I had him in the air by his neck, shirt collar neck. And I was about to strike him again. Struck him already. And he said, "Dad, instead of beating me, can't you just show me?" When that child said, "Dad, instead of beating me, can't you just show me?" I put that child down and I left the room and I was crying in the other room because I realized if he is intelligent enough, and he must have been probably 8, 9, that age, and he's 16 now. Well, 17 now. Yeah, just turned 17. But if I realized then, I said to myself in that moment, if that child knows that you can, with extra patience, actually teach me instead of beating me, I will learn better this way. In the middle of him being fearful, about to get struck, he said, can't you, Dad, can't you just, try to reason with me, Dad, can't you just teach me instead of beating me? Man, that broke me in 100 pieces. I never hit that kid again. Never hit that kid again. And the other day, just to let y'all into my life, I don't know what, I thought Kai did something. And I grabbed him and I was telling him, do that again. Let me see what that was. Because a whole history behind what I thought he did, which it wasn't what I thought it was. And I slapped him on his butt 3-4 times, right? And then after that, I remember what Jaden said. I apologized to Kai and I told Kai, I will never, ever hit you again. And I never will. Your children are here to teach you as much as you are here to guide them.
Absolutely.
And I think as parents, if we forget that they are here to teach us, and we just take on this totalitarian role of you can't teach me nothing, you can't tell me nothing, you're a child. I teach you, I tell you, I guide you, do as I say, not as I do. Everything can go left,
Yeah.
So we have to just be patient and actually learn from them while they're teaching us. And I learned that, and I need that lesson to apply even now to my younger ones. And that was from their older brother. So yeah, back to this story right here. Gave her away to the state at 14, and she came back 20 pregnant. Oh man,
Can you imagine what this little girl went through?
Oh man,
and how the shame and the trauma that she had for years. That when I do something wrong, there is no forgiveness.
That part.
When I do something wrong, it's the ultimate punishment.
Yeah.
And she will be the type of
throw me away.
She will be the type of young lady who probably, why she come back pregnant, get in relationship with man who will treat her hard.
Back to what we were discussing mercy. Here. Yes, right on topic.
When she does something wrong, that's going to be the expectation, and that's what she's going to gravitate to, because she's going to believe she deserves harsh, merciless punishment.
Yes.
That carries on and carry on. Yeah. I know that you were saying that our generation, we're kind of soft on the kids too, because I even find myself doing that, asking them what they want for dinner. My mother never did ask me what I want for dinner,
Right.
So things like that. But one thing I can say, yes, there's certain things I think we should take from the old school that did make us resilient. But one thing I appreciate about our generation, just you apologize to your son and say, hey, I'm wrong. I do the same thing.
Yes.
If I'm wrong, I tell you, look, mommy don't know everything.
Right.
I teaching you, you can teach me. Now, there's certain things I know more than you because I've been here longer than you.
Right.
But they can teach me things.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I say sorry, because my mother she was never wrong. till this day, never wrong.
I think all
if
of
I'm
us.
wrong, I say sorry. And I appreciate our generation. We're more, what they call it, emotionally intelligent.
Right.
And we remember our own childhood and we pick from what we feel was good from what we feel was not good and be like, nah, that's too far. That's too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
And strike a balance. Because I think for many of us, we're trying to think, how can we grow our children in a way that we don't damage them?
Right.
Like I wanna guide you, and even while I want to give you discipline, but I don't want to destroy you.
Right.
And I think the previous generation, they don't get that.
Right.
True. So.
And if you ask a lot of them, did you ever hear your mommy hug you and say I love you and all these things? They'll be like, no. But they provided for me, and they protected me and whatever. They instructed me, guided me, but they never ever said, I love you.
But you need that part.
Right. And we realize that.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Ooh. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Listen, we're not talking bad about the brother. We already know. And bro, I know you're listening and watching. We ain't talking bad about you. It's something, it happened already. It's gone. Again, that horse gone through the gate. We can't pull it back. But for those who are going through that, just listen. Just remember, actually, as a grown person, you probably can, because I'm sure your daughter still carry resentment from that. So you could start by actually apologizing, because that's all you can do is apologize for what was. You didn't come with a book that said this is how you parent and we go by the book or nothing. Parenting is just winging it for most people, and you hope you get it right kind of thing. Some people don't care. And then, we see the end result when the end result comes out. Some people care a lot. We see the result when that result comes out as well. Ain't no manual to this. Audrey Wright, absolutely. No manual to it. Kaz Robinson says, even if she was at home, this child would have been pregnant at 20. You don't know that. You don't know that. And you can't know that. Listen to what you're saying. Would have, could have, should have. Didn't happen that way, though. You're saying the child would have always been bad, or the child would have always been taking out his money and stealing his money. The child would have always been. Imagine you want to get a little bit spiritual about this. Then okay, the same people will tell you about God will forgive you 100 times 7 or 7 times 100 or whatever the hell they call it, right? And you repeat your same wrongs over and over, and you feel so convicted in your spirit that when you pray to your God that you are forgiven of your sins. Then how your God can forgive you so many times over and over and over for the same atrocities you continue to do, but you can't forgive your child who God gave you. You can't. Enough people out there can have picking up 70 times 7, but you want to convict this child and hold it against the child for life for something a child did at 14. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. You can't speak on what the child could have, would have, should have. You didn't put in the work, right? Let me tell you, I was just telling wifey this story, true story, and like I said, my family watched this, so I can't lie. My grandfather in Jamaica, when them build up them land and stuff, he did commercial farming. One day, me did it, and me see a stack of money like this high put down. Why me take up the money though and put it in a bag and me out a road with the money? Hear me, everybody. You want bag juice, you want patty and cocoa bread, and me buy up everybody's stuff, When the truck came to drop off the blocks and the mall and cement them stuff that they were supposed to, there was no money to pay them. And my name them call because me I did the mischievous one. My grandfather beat me. See, that man there beat me till I thought I was gonna die. And when my grandmother came and saw me after I put on that beating there, my grandfather said, well, me put it on, Miss Ruby, you can take it off. Like that, right? Because she a ball. Oi! That just the beating. And I'm not saying he did it the right way, but just that beating made me never want to steal anything again in my life, right? I told y'all, fast forward, when me there America one day, me a little youth still, went into Winn-Dixie. I ended up starting to work at Winn-Dixie at 14. Went into a Winn-Dixie, and a friend of mine who had been here longer than me was trying to teach me how to thief. Me see him take up stuff and pocket it and walk out of the store. And me see him through the glass, pass me outside. I'm inside. It's my turn. Me take a Snicker bar, a giant Snicker bar. Walk around the store with a giant Snicker bar. I'm contemplating my life. I'm still remembering the ass whipping my grandfather gave me. I'm walking around with this Snicker bar and me tear the Snicker bar out of the pocket because I say, I get smart now. And I say, well, if there's no barcode on it, it can't make beep when it go through the door. Me put the raw Snicker bar, big Snicker bar in my pocket. Walk around the store somewhere till the Snicker bar start melting in my pocket and nasty up my clothes. Me take out the Snicker bar now, my hand full of chocolate, me throw it in the counter, in the shelves on one of the aisles, and I ran out that store. Never again did I ever try to thief nothing from anywhere. So you see, you can't speak on. So if you had met me back then and they did kill me with beating or did send me away to the state, you would have been saying, yes, cause if them did keep little SouFLo there and would have turned up become a big thief and he would have kept on stealing and thieving. No, the lesson was taught and I learned it well. Albeit I learned it like the plantation way cause he did it through pain, but I learned it. But he took the time to teach it and I learned it. So you have to be patient with your children, and it does. And okay, they repeat it, be there again. They repeat it, be there again. Make the consequences harsher. I don't know, level up, do something else. But you don't just give away your child to the damn state at 14 and then come back 20 pregnant. You just alleviated yourself of your God-given responsibility. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You just took 6 years off out of your child's life. That's all you did. That's all you did. One less bread, one less mouth on the bread in the house, one less somebody for feed, one less headache, one less. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But that's that. Kaz Robinson is like, yeah, beat them to death, broke them up, kill them, dash them away. I'm not. I can't be that kind of parent because I've seen the end result of that kind of parenting. Parenting takes work. That's why parenting takes work. Parenting takes a whole lot of patience. Parenting takes you just want to boof them sometime. Because especially if you come from a background where you used to get boof all the time. Okay, you don't want to hear me? When I was growing up, nobody told us anything twice. If them did tell you twice, you're lucky as hell. The first time them tell you, you better get that right. The second time they have to tell you, oh, me have to tell you again? Yeah, there won't be a third time. The third time is buffins. And you knew that. So if it's engraved in your brain to actually parent like that, you want to do that to your own picnic them to yes. Kai, how much time I have to tell you? Kai, you heard me say, yeah, boof. You learn now. But you just hurt that child. And you could have done better than that. Exercise some patience. That's where they're trying to teach. That's where the creator is using them to teach you patience. Find a different way to handle that. Because all you just taught that child was, if you want somebody to do something, get violent with them. If you want somebody to do something, hurt them. I wonder why our children, a lot of them end up where they end up. Yeah, that's the only lesson that comes out of that. You hurt a child to get a child to do what you want the child to do. That's all you're teaching the child. Nothing else. You're just teaching them hurt people when you want them to do it and them not listen to you. Wonder why it carries over into personal relationships when they get older. Yeah, the woman says she want left. Man said, me no want you left. Him end up kill her. Because that's the only way I was going to get her to stay. It goes a long way. It goes a long way. Okay. Or end up beat her up in the house. It goes a long way. But dinner no cook yet. Every day I come in, the dinner no cook yet, thumping her eye, kicking her belly. Then you hear women, lads, me dealt with them for how much years the boy used to beat me. Me no one, no man will beat me again. And a lot of women out here have that story. Man choke them up, box them, kick them down. Some get outright beatings. Is from somebody who came up like that. Your ex, if them not there with you still, used to get buffins anytime they wanted him to do something. And that's how he learned to get you to do what he wanted you to do. or how he learned to handle his frustrations. Because the parents get frustrated. Me tired, I tell you this over and over. Boof. So that's what you learn. You get frustrated, stop talk. Just start thump and kick. Them don't want to do what you say. Don't ask no more. Just freak them up. That's all you're teaching them. You're not teaching them nothing else. Right. Marie's message 411 TV, big up yourself and thank you for being here. Says, I became a better parent after I took an early childhood development course. I'm becoming a better parent over time, and on purpose. Conscious of what was done before with the older ones, what need to change with the younger ones, and just all around trying to be a better person altogether. You know what I mean? Don't get it right every single day. I'm not a perfect person. I don't think any of us are, but you should put effort into being not just a better parent, but a better human being, which will lead you to be a better parent to your children. You know what I mean? Emotionally intelligent. You have to develop your emotional intelligence. That part, that's a big part of it. Grace James says, I have 3 children and 2 of them got slapped 1 time each. I think I was abused as a child, so I grew my children different. They are adults now and they are great parents too. Yes, because they never came up with the buffins. And I'm glad that although you were abused, you didn't perpetuate the same behavior towards your children, because that's what usually happens. I don't know if y'all understand how hard it is to break a cycle. I don't know if you understand how hard it is to not do what was done to you. This is psychology 101. That's why most molesters move on to molest. This is real. Most abusers were abused. It's real. So if you're not conscious of your behavior and you're not at a place where you're saying, I have to break this cycle, I have to stop this, you're just going to continue doing the same thing. Handing down trauma. Handing down trauma. You're going to hand it to your kids are going to hand it to your grandkids are probably going to hand it to their kids, until 1 or 2 might be lucky and buck up in somebody like Grace James, who broke the cycle and said, you know what, I was treated this way, I don't want to treat my kids that way. But even when you say it, it's still hard to do. Right. Yes, Kaitai Jai Empress. Then it becomes a generational curse. Yeah, because the trauma is handed down. Right? The Buffalo Soldier Rest says, wow, something we do not invest in prior to having children. Childhood development classes. Absolutely. And haven't I talked about that more of us should plan having babies? Because most of us or our children out here, they come from, oops, Ross, me get the boy, someone inbreed me. Hello? Yes, Dwayne, me pregnant. They don't come from planned. They don't come from sitting down and talking. Do you want a family? Do you want children? Yes? No? Okay. What if we have a child together? What are we gonna do? Do we have enough financially to take care of the child? Or are we gonna do this, that, and the other? You know, I'll be a whole heap of oops babies are out here. Yeah, and then we just figure it out as we go along after that. Right? Right. um, yeah, not doing Kaitai Jai. I want your son name doing. All right, so let's finish up the pregnancy part. Can you see where this leads us? Unfortunately, too many of our students are falling through the educational cracks because of how our school system is structured. Our school needs to be more intentional about the students that they wish to produce, is what the doctor said. Too many are serving as a holding place until it's time to graduate the students, regardless of their literacy or their numeracy levels. The reality is, when students are not anchored by a training program, whether academic or vocational, then we have failed to garner their minds. And we therefore need to be prepared for the outcome. An African proverb said, a child who is not embraced by the village will burn that village down to feel its warmth. A child who is not embraced by the village will burn that village down to feel its warmth. Wow. That's powerful. Professor Pottinger added that anyone can practice intentional caregiving or parenting despite social economic status or biological relations to the child. It could start with you thinking about how you were raised, whether you wish to repeat the practices or do differently. And if you wish to do so differently, seek out the resources, counseling, parent education, workshops, self help books to learn new ways. You have to be proactive. Importantly, think about the characteristics you want to see in a child. Identify and label them. For example, you want a God fearing child with a strong sense of worth and confidence, then you have to create a plan to acquire those traits. You can't just say, well, I hope I saw him turn out. A plan may mean choosing your battles with the teen so as to not constantly thwart their sense of who they are, or be conscious of using positive words to help shape their self worth. Or suppose you want them to include church in the triangle of influences in their life, then attending church and being involved in it is made a priority at home, which does not include the parents staying home and sending the child to church. It includes you going with the child to church gatherings. Professor Pottinger added, now I'm not saying that Professor Pottinger was saying everybody have to send them picnic at church. Professor Pottinger was actually just using it as an example. Like, if this is what you wish to manifest through your children, then you have to actually be proactive in putting it in their lives, right? And being a part of it. Not just send them go to church or go on a church with your grandmother. Go with them because you are their biggest influencer. You are their biggest example, or you should aim to be. If you see who a ton influencer nowadays, I think you would have definitely be broken your neck to try to be an influencer to your children. Professor Pottinger added that intentional parenting is what it's called, and it's spending time with the child whose mind you are intent on shaping. You have to be present with them so that you can be intentional about the content with which they are filling their minds with. Right. So if you're like a teenage girl is spending more time watching the latest dancehall queen and how she dresses and the latest song them about she can ride body and she want a big man and Benz and Lexus and Beamer and all these things, and you're not there to steer her the next way to say, what kind of foolishness that you listen to? Okay, I understand say that a phone of music or whatever, but there's reality, and please understand that this is entertainment. You have to break it down. You have to break it down. I don't know if you remember growing up, some of the people who were the favorite artist of yours, you actually used to live in a them video. I did, vicariously, and wanted, do you want to dress like that? Couldn't afford it though. But do you want to dress like that? I wanted that vehicle that he was driving in that video, that Jeep. I wanted that, this, that, you know. Oh, she looks sexy. Or as a youth, me used to say, me like how him dress, I me want to dress like that. I me want to do this, I want to do that, right? Then my mom was there to say, listen, you don't ever let your pants go off your ass. My mom worked in the justice system at the time. And my mom said, do you know where that come from? And she broke it down to me where the pants off the booty come from and exposing your boxers and your body as a man. That's why you've never seen me dress like that. And none of my boys ever dress like that either. And I'm a father of 4 boys, right? And whether I'm around them or not around them, or them not think I'm around them, it's just not a part of how they dress. Seeing? So yeah, you have to be intentional, of course, with, but the teen pregnancy thing, it comes down to the teens feeling neglected, the teens feeling like them want something else that's missing in them life, and they go about finding it. Like the caller said, that's probably the reason why she came back pregnant or came back with a child. She was out there from 14 till that age searching for love, fatherly love. and a rough voice from a man said, "Yo, you sexy, you know," and she took that as love. You pretty. She took that as love because you're not there as daddy to tell her how beautiful she is. You know how important that is for a girl? You know how important that is for a girl? But a man I tell your daughter that and you not tell her that you're not even there. You don't even care where she at. Gave her to the state. Of course she got breed. And she got breed early too. She probably don't even want to be in state care. So if she breed for a man, the man I gonna say, yo, let's start a family. I'm gonna get my little apartment and me and you are gonna rough out life. So now she have somewhere to go instead of going to state care home, right? That's exactly what the doctor just said. The voids. They have a list of voids and they'll find ways to fill that void. So we have a teen pregnancy problem, but that has many heads to that problem. We can't solve that overnight. It's not just the big man them love the little girl them and won't left them make them grow. It goes way deeper than that. Way deeper than that. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Up, SouFLo.
Up, family. What
How
going?
You doing?
Good, you know. You?
Yes, this is Marie's message 411 TV. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am glad to be a part of the chat.
I appreciate you being a part of the chat. Thank you.
I don't know if you remember me. I'm the lady you did a story on almost a year ago with my mother and my brother.
Your mother and your brother. Oh!
Yeah.
No, wait, because I did a couple of stories on people with mother and brother.
Where my brother molested me
that's
and
you?
I ended up having a child.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's another one. No, I remember yours now. And you had the child.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he is now 36 years old. I just spoke to him this morning. But anyway, I just called to say I'm happy to be a part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was raising my children, I went through a lot of what happened to me, and so I had to learn how to do the opposite of what was happening to me when I was growing up.
Right.
And I took a class. I took an early childhood development class, and it helped me to understand the stages that children go through.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were times when I thought that my children was just making a mess or doing something to agitate me, when in actuality it was just a growth and development stage that they were going through.
Right. They were just doing what their age group does.
Right. And so I learned how to deal with them in a different way without being angry and aggressive.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what?
So that's all I wanted to say.
All right. I appreciate you for being here. Have you been posting any new content to your channel or anything?
Yes, all the time. You can go right now. I posted videos last night. I'm always posting.
Okay.
I only have 667 subscribers. When I get to 1,000, I can start to go live.
Okay. Say the name of the channel. I see you in the chat room, but I don't see your name now.
Yes, it's Marie's Message 411 TV.
Message 411 TV. All right.
And when you write, you have to do it exactly the way it is. Marie's Message with the hyphen over the S, and then when you go to message, you have to put the 411 right next to the message. There's no space.
Okay.
I don't know if it shows up in the chat, but
it does.
The way it shows up in the chat is the way it's supposed to be written.
Okay. It shows up in the chat. So if you should type anything again, it'll show up again. It shows up every time you type something into the chat.
And so when you see that, go to YouTube and type it in just the same way, and you will find me.
Will do. And I appreciate you for being here, my friend. Thank you.
Hi, everybody in the chat.
Welcome. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Somebody asked if she is still in Holland. That's to show you how many of these stories I do. That's to show you, sir, them thing here is not fake, and I'm not sitting somewhere making up no stories. That's not her. That's not the one from Holland. She is from somewhere upstate, I believe Maryland or something in the U.S., completely different story, right? Go to her channel and go check out her story. And she had the baby too. Damn. Ah, there's so much. I want to revisit her story. I'm gonna write that down because I'm gonna revisit her story. But the one that's in Holland is the one that left Jamaica. The one that's a whole different story. That one involved the father and the brother, and the mom knew. That's a different one. And we have another one out there that's a different one. So that's why I was like, which one? But I remember her specifically for sure. And I even remember when she started her channel to tell her story back then when I covered it. All right. Moving right along, right? Because we're trying to finish at 9 a.m. Got a lot going on today. I just thought this was kind of important to bring across to you just so you understand who runs what in Jamaica, or who is the people them when they speak of the 21 families that run stuff, right? And control everything. How they got their money, what they own today, and how you can recognize them. So, just bear with this reading. Jamaica is a country where our primary concern is to make money. Hold on there. I'm gonna have to hold off on the call. Jamaica is a country where our primary concern is to make money jingle in our pockets rather than create a foundation of real wealth to maintain a stable economic base. We have become lost in the euphoria of booming stock market, which is buoyant, based largely on rampant speculations and cheap money rather than entrenched wealth creation. For years, we wallowed in self-pity as we were conflicted by the merits of capitalism versus democratic socialism. For the most part, those with capital found a safe haven in North America or even in the motherland. Economic purists of the 70s said that the lumpen plutocrats were forever enslaved by the economic chains of the 21 families. The 21 families, whose primary concern was preserving their wealth while leaving the masses to fight for money jingling in their pockets. This says, money talks loud, wealth whispers. Who were these 21 families? Some of us are old enough to remember names that include names like Issa, names like Aschenheim, names like Henriquez, Matalan, Hart, Da Costa, Mahfoud, Mahfoud, the one that yesterday I said they need 300 to 400 new people, and they'll be having that job fair over in Portmore. Check the video from yesterday for those of you who want to attend the job fair. Right, Mahfoud, he's one of them from that family. Hendrickson, Melhado, Clark. Those are to name a few, even though I know a whole heap of Clark still, but them broke. And them definitely not from the 21 families, to name a few. They achieved this economic branding based mainly on interlocutory corporate brand membership and intermarrying. It is clear that many of these reflected a heavy concentration of old Jewish families or descendants from the plantocracy, plantation aristocracy, those of those times owned slaves and land and stuff. And then when slavery ended, they were given monetary gains and land. Not the people who were enslaved were given compensation. The people who owned slaves were given compensation. Those were the days before names like Butch Stewart and Michael Lee Chin and Mark Myers, these are more, Peter Bunting, Glenn Christian, and Ghassan Azan were integral to the economic landscape. The compilation of the 21 families are based on firm economic research collated at the University of the West Indies by a team that's headed by Professor Stanley Reed and published in a book that was edited by Professor Carl Stone and Professor Agri Brown. In that era of social ferment, it gave rise to the Michael Manley's one-way ticket of 5 flights a day to Miami. One-way ticket, 5 flights a day to Miami. What that sound like to you? An exodus. The result was that a lot of Jamaica's real wealth fled Jamaica, leaving those who are content with just money jingling in their pockets. Thankfully, there is still a cadre of Jamaicans who have remained to convert their money into real wealth and with indigenous brands that can fly the Jamaican brand at home and abroad today. Yes, a few do have tangential linkages to the 21 families and the plantation, but in all instances, these brands are world class products now and now enjoyed at home and abroad. So the 21 families you speak of don't really exist anymore on the island of Jamaica because there was a time when majority of them fled. They left Jamaica, but some of them did stay back and their money did trickle back into Jamaica along with their offsprings. So look no further than something like True Juice. I was just going through Walmart, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, and I was telling Shakira, I said, see True Juice there? Because when I'm there in Jamaica, I drink whole heap of True Juice. True Juice is above what you call juice in the US, right? You get a raw juice. True Juice, a testimony to the agri-businessman acumen of the McConnells. That's one of the names, who have created a brand that is much more diverse and of a higher quality than the knockdown imports that crowd our supermarket shelves today. True Juice. Time was when it was fashionable to boast of Perrier, Evian, Dasani, and Fiji as mandatory at any dinner table. For those who are still in the dark, those are the names of the imported bottled waters that became staples on the menu of tables of those who were from the upper echelons. If it wasn't Perrier water, it had to be Evian or a bottle of Dasani or a Fiji, and that's what they would drink. And then came Wata, WATA, from the well springs of Mahfoods. The Mahfoods, one of them is Winsico, chairperson, who is having the job fair and need 300 to 400 people over Portmore coming up shortly, right? And it comes from their springs. Here is a product with no special claim of natural or mineral springs, but just distilled NWC water that is now as Jamaican as Red Stripe and D&G soft drinks. Grace. Everybody know Grace. Grace is not just a brand name of great Jamaican consumer products, but also a great corporate entity that straddles a range of goods and services. Grace's Jamaican profile is attributable to a succession of great leaders, but none more than the late Carlton Alexander, whose views were lubricated by Jamaican blood. Some of the criticisms of Grace products are based on the fact that the company continued to import ready-made processed material, which it merely just bottled and canned it or packaged it to give it paternity with a Grace label, unlike our next indigenous brand. So people still question Grace. Is Grace really made in Jamaica? Or are they just doing the bottling and the canning in Jamaica? And that's what they're exposing and saying that that's one of the issues with Grace. But they're at the top of the food chain as well. Now, food and its byproducts are one of the strengths as primary producers, as evidenced by Best Dressed Chicken, hatched by the Levy family. If y'all notice how these people got rich or maintained their wealth or continue to grow their wealth, only say all food. It's all food. The Levy family. This company not only packages for retail, but is backward integrated to be the lifeblood of many in the Jamaican farming community who are the principal suppliers of livestock that eventually became Best Dressed. Another indigenous brand whose footprint straddles all of Jamaica is Lotto. As a people who like to take chances, this was a natural fit for our society, like so many successful brands. Its success, Lotto, has attached big foreign investors and could even soon lose its Jamaican parentage and flavor. You can't keep a good man down. Long before the rise of the local stock market, other Jamaican brands became hybrids by opening up to investors who have taken the products global. Think Stripe, think Tia Maria. When I was little growing up, I used to hear Tia Maria, golden brown, drink it when the sun goes down, or something like that, right? Right, Tia Maria, Appleton, and Caribbean Cement. Now, our major finances, houses, are Jamaican in geography only. Our major finance houses are geographically Jamaican, are Jamaican in geography only. NCB, which was the progeny of Barclays, has now become an international brand. NCB's headquarters is located in Barbados, not Jamaica. Life of Jamaica, a child of North America life, was gobbled up by Sagicor. Sagicor is an American company. Many Jamaicans think it's a Jamaican company. The latter one, Sagicor, is actually in the process of changing paternity, with the major players being Align Vest of Canada. Think global. Since independence, we have produced entertainment and sporting giants that have dominated the world stage and flown the brand Jamaica flag all over the world. It's easy to ask why our indigenous products, except for sandals, have not been able to make that quantum leap on the world stage. Our small population base does not encourage many of us to think globally in creating new products and services. This has made us complacent with money jingling in our pockets. This begs the question as to why, in the digital era, we cannot think globally and follow in the footsteps of living legends like Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, Bill Gates, Microsoft, Larry Page, and Sergey Brin for Google, and Jerry Young and David Fillo for Yahoo, and Daniel Eyre and Martin Lorenzo for Spotify. All the names mentioned move from just pocket money to real wealth that whispers above the crowd, using a digital platform as their base. And we have moved into the digital age. The digital arena does not require brawn or big expensive money for a Jamaican brand to become global, but we give no real incentives to our own people who want to create outside the box using their minds instead of borrowed capital. Until we get serious and water the garden, 5 in 4 will remain a pipe dream on somebody's ambitious bucket list. And that will be that. Shout out to Lenny Little White for putting this article together. I found it very interesting and a very good read filled with information. This is saying so many things on so many levels. So here we are in the digital age, right? Wealth and great wealth could be created and could be created now. The woman from the Bronx who said, well, she's not from the Bronx. I think she's New York's mayor, who said there's still black kids in the Bronx who don't know what a computer is. And I was telling black people, stop being triggered by small stuff. She was actually at an event where they source resources for underprivileged communities. And she was basically letting them know that, hey, the world is upward mobile now in a digital space, and these kids from these communities will not be able to compete if they don't have the same level playing field as others in other communities. But they took it the wrong way, right? and they started making videos of some black person with no shirt and a tear-up shorts on with a chain on his neck, and somebody is moving a computer around on the floor and he's boxing it and going, oh, They turned it into something else. But that's what she said. After she said, yeah, he might have came out wrong, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that people from that demographic can compete in the world that is happening now as far as the digital era goes. So great wealth could be created in this digital era. Put your mind to it, but you first have to know how to do it, right? Right. So those are the names sprinkled in there of the families who are considered the top wealthiest families in Jamaica and what they own today and how they came about with their riches, right? It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to end this one right here. The young lady who got stabbed up, I'll cover that on another video. And the young man who lost his life, again, rest in peace to Marquise Morgan. We're killing off our kids. The person who said yesterday you put the gun on the icon for gain views. See there? Poor Marquise. Mother sent him to school. People are out there spreading and making up all kinds of stories. The kid wasn't involved in anything. He was coming from school and got caught in a crossfire. And he is now dead. And how many times are we going to keep hearing the same story? Right? Our young kids can't even grow. Gunman and Don, a Corel and curtail your daughter them. Hey girl, come here, bring a pussy, come here, man, want you, gunman want you. She's scared. If she come tell you as our parents, you scared. Yeah? And then your son them, they're getting shot down in the street even when they're not involved in anything. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. But set the little youth name and make his death not be in vain, right? Again, rest in peace to Marquise Morgan, gone at 15 years old, and I'm sure he had a bright future ahead of him. Another one. I'll catch y'all tomorrow morning right here on Morning Thoughts. God spare my life. Walk good and be good. I'm out. Peace.